Good Sunday morning, everyone, and a special good morning to all of the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Ashley Izbicki.
Because of Russian support.
Well, that was the president speaking in an NBC News special report. Again, one American confirmed dead in that crash. Still a lot of unanswered questions.
59 degrees cooling down there in the midweek for the lows. That is very chilly for this time of the year.
Pretty much. KUB says really there's too many variables to figure out exactly what caused the break. It could be weather or shifting soil. And John Robin, at this point, the owner of the Coleman building says he's really just crossing his fingers, hoping KUB reimburses him for all of that damage.
From last minute gift ideas to how much the average person actually spends on their mom. And I thought the number was actually pretty shocking. So we've got all that coming up.
Bob, this is absolutely crazy. You've got your nice fleece jacket, it looks like, on out there. And I mean, seriously, 2 days ago we were in the 70s. What happened?
I know.
Let me tell you what, they are putting it down thick. Look at this, nice thick salts coating the roads. This is all that's left, rubble. You can make out maybe a car down the hill here, possibly some furniture, but it's mostly just charred debris.
The Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency is investigating a deadly jet ski accident that claimed the life of a teenage girl.
NBC's Dave Wagner joins us live from the 2014 Olympics. And Dave, they're hoping a new day and new speed suits might actually help. This morning, we now know the name of the suspect accused of murder, carjacking, and leading officers on a high-speed chase through East Tennessee Friday. And he has a long and somewhat odd criminal history.
Yeah, absolutely, John. As you can see and probably hear, crews are still out here right now. They're actually working on repaving over a massive hole. Officials say they've been extremely grateful, of course, for all of the volunteers, but still a lot of work to be done in both counties.
Yes. Do you like the red and white best? Well, she's the expert, so you keep rolling over there.
Barbecue for breakfast. Why not? You know, we always talk about this. In the morning, we're here bright and early, so by the time we're done, we're ready for lunch. 4 men are facing charges after a fight at an Applebee's escalated to a shootout between rival biker gangs.
Let's start with taxes. You know, somebody getting married is probably not the first thing that comes to mind. And I can certainly attest to that as a newlywed.
Victory was so close for the volunteers, but unfortunately, a win slipped out of their hands. It was this close.
Alexander says the Senate adjourned early out of respect for Howard Baker Jr. Certainly a sad and emotional day, but Alexander really couldn't help but smile when sharing those memories.
The family of a man murdered in Knoxville more than a year ago is still looking for answers.
He was actually at that same hospital unit where Dr. Brantley contracted the deadly virus, so he decided to stay at home alone until he knows he officially does not have Ebola. We've been following this story all morning long. You can see helicopters right now in the sky headed off to training before they will deploy to Afghanistan. They're set to be in Afghanistan by April. We are talking about 80 pilots and helicopters, many of which, of course, are leaving families behind here in East Tennessee. It's so bad. There are several wrecks already, and ambulances can't even get to them. Paramedics apparently are parking down the road and walking up to the scene.
Just around the corner from their house, 2 people died here. There used to be a double wide. Now it's gone. All that's left standing is this front deck. It all started with this paper sign on the front door. Now the owner has upgraded to this permanent colored sign.
Now, dispatch says the new system will improve emergency response times for Clinton residents and also allows them to reach policemen, firemen, and ambulances within seconds. It's a story that certainly makes you grateful for what you have. And if you want to help, a fund has been set up at Regions Bank, and you can head to our website, WBR.com, for more information.
Even though the restaurant has been closed, Tupelo Honey employees have been getting paid. They've been doing some extra training for that reopen, which is again scheduled for a week from tomorrow, and just in time for a football season. A busy weekend here expected in downtown Knoxville.
It's a lot of hassle and yeah, security with thousands of people packed into one small square.
I can think of. Welcome back, everyone. It's now 12:54 this Christmas Eve. This morning, a lot of us saw some snow. Did you? Well, if not, check this out.
I would definitely be shopping right now. Best deals around.
I'd be in Aruba or something.
But here's the catch. I wouldn't be shopping for Christmas presents. I will admit right now.
You'd be shopping for yourself?
Absolutely, and that is the growing trend.
Selfish.
And that really is the goal here today, to raise awareness and to stop the growing issue. This t-shirt they have here today says, "Take a stand against bullying," and it matches billboards that you've probably probably seen all across town. Only one truck is here at the scene now, different from earlier. All morning long and all afternoon, really, crews were pouring down a lot of water, working on hot spots. Now, though, investigators are here on the scene starting to dig through the rubble.
Can it lead to COPD and emphysema, and kind of talk about the importance of that, the side effects?
The rounds just do not look good on you, Mike. Try these. Try the squares.
Okay, here.
Let me try the rounds. Let's flip here, and we can let
We
the
only have
viewers,
like 15 seconds
viewers
left.
decide.
But,
Okay,
hey,
we're
listen,
out
I
of
think
time.
glasses
Almost.
are cool. I actually.
Robin and John, really, for the last 4 days, it's been nonstop work here, but today it's pretty quiet. It's not the sounds of construction, but instead regular traffic. Take a look. You can see crews have already repaved over a massive 18 feet deep hole in the road. But across the street here, a heating and air conditioning company is hoping to get some answers from KUB soon.
As you see as I walk on it, how wet it still is, and this mud was up to my ankles.
Buddy Cruz says this is a drastic improvement from Thursday, when all of this mud and debris coated the floors after a massive water main break right outside of his business.
This is the roof line. You can see the wooden rafters here. It got so heavy with water, the outside wall bowed out a bit, so it caved in and fell.
And this wall caved in. Now, Cruz says he thinks his building will be condemned.
I'd be surprised if it's not. So we're taking all of our files. We've been here for 69 years. We have 69 years worth of files in here that we're moving next door.
Administrative offices have been moved to his house, and for now, it's the waiting game.
They're assuring us that we're getting the engineer's report as of today or tomorrow. They're going to look that over, and I was hoping maybe by the end of this week we have something to talk about anyway.
The specifics I can't get into, but we do have a claims department, and their position is to work closely with the customer, work with the insurance companies as needed and as it calls for.
KUB has called this the largest, most complex water main break it's ever dealt with.
As far as the damage, it's most often flooding, mud, and debris. This is certainly a more extreme circumstance.
As for who's liable,
just know that we are working closely with the customer, and we'll work hard to get a resolution between the two of us.
I hope we get treated fairly. Where I'm in business, I'm not KUB, but I treat homeowners in what I think is a fair manner, and when we mess up, we fix the problem.
Now, I asked KUB what would happen if this water main break had been, say, in someone's front yard, and the spokesperson said it's really a case-by-case basis. I also asked attorneys who's to blame here, and they say there's really so many factors, and often these kind of cases actually end up in court. So KUB says really there's too many variables to figure out exactly what caused the break. It could be weather or shifting soil. And John and Robin, at this point, the owner of the Coleman building says he's really just crossing his fingers, hoping KUB reimburses him for all of that damage.
Ashley Izbicki live for us tonight with a lot of unanswered questions.
It all started with this paper sign on the front door. Now the owner has upgraded to this permanent colored sign that she ordered from a Sevierville graphics company. Now that company is making more signs for other local businesses that want to make it clear firearms are welcome.
I was on the verge of losing Shiloh. I'd already told the staff that we probably wouldn't be here at the end of the month.
But this sign and the national spotlight is saving her family restaurant.
I put more money in the bank in the last 5 days than I have in the last 6 months.
Sharma Floyd had to hire 7 more people, and now her sign is helping another local company.
We're not going to retire off of these signs, but the good thing about it is it gets awareness out there for the Second Amendment rights.
Red Eye Printing in Sevierville has been in business for about 5 years.
Once we get it built here, we'll print it, we'll take it here to the heat press, we'll put it onto this, turn it over, press it, and then when we're finished, this is the outcome.
An outcome other local businesses are now ordering.
A martial arts place, a bakery, a couple of mechanic shops.
Like this Kung Fu and Tai Chi studio in downtown Maryville.
It really caught my attention because that's something that I've always kind of done with my classes, but I hadn't really put it out there where it was that kind of a sign in the window that way.
Richard Clear teaches his students how to defend themselves against someone with a weapon. He put in an order with Red Eye Printing and hopes to have a sign in the next couple of days.
I don't even know what to say. I get such a loss for words, and I'm so grateful for the support that we've been getting.
Floyd says her business has more than tripled, and the demand isn't just for her Southern-style menu items. She now says she's making T-shirts and coffee mugs that state guns are welcome.
And we'll have them here probably by Friday.
Now, even though business has been booming, the owner says beer sales have actually not increased. She says they account for less than 10% of their sales. And again, they do not sell liquor here. In Maryville, Ashley Izbicki, WBIR 10 News.
This is a picture of Mother in Alaska. Mother didn't just think that she could do everything better than everyone else could. She could.
Sybil Gamble Hall says before her feisty and vivacious mother passed away, she visited her almost daily, often sleeping at nursing homes for weeks at a time.
I have dealt with 12 different nursing homes in Chattanooga, Maryland, Florida, here in Knoxville. And all of them, I would see people, just not getting the care that they need.
That includes Kindred Nursing and Rehabilitation in Maryville. According to inspection reports filed within the last few years, it's the second top fined facility in the state and nearly $550,000 with 28 deficiencies, including level 1 harm, which means at least one resident was in immediate jeopardy. A recent report shows it was the facility's fault a patient suffered severe dehydration and was even transferred to a hospital's trauma intensive care unit. At number 4, Fort Sanders Severe Nursing Home has been slapped with nearly $500,000 in fines and 15 deficiencies. Inspectors say the facility's failure to follow procedures for bedside rails put 10 patients in immediate jeopardy. And for some patients, the nursing home failed to serve meals on time, provide showers twice a week, and clean blood glucose meters. But Colonial Hills Nursing Center seems to be the extreme case.
Well, I just thought it was terrible. They didn't give me a bath till 2 weeks, not even a wash off.
Shelley Barton was a rehab patient until a few days before the facility lost its Medicare and Medicaid contract, forcing it to shut down in 2012.
I wouldn't advise anybody to go there.
This is the side of the former Colonial Hills Nursing Center in Maryville. The grass is overgrown across the property, and as you can see, the gate is now closed. Now the parent company says it's building a new facility here off Pellissippi Parkway. You can see construction has already started on the 10-acre property.
I'm concerned about that.
In an emailed statement, Life Care Centers of America said amenities will include 3 spa-like bathing rooms, an ice cream shop, library, and putting green.
It's just really scary to think that we're going to have another one coming back into the area.
Documents show fines add up to $465,000. Colonial had 46 deficiencies in 2011 alone. One patient fractured a rib and needed staples in the head after the facility didn't ensure a safety device was in place. Inspectors also say 2 certified nursing assistants, or CNAs, were fired after they took a photo of a patient in bed when underwear fell on their head. And there was an issue with salt being put in food in the place of thickener that sent 2 patients to the hospital. How is the staffing at Colonial?
Terrible. Well, I think all hospitals and nursing homes are understaffed. I think they do need more nurses.
Several caregivers, along with the senior services coordinator at Blount Memorial Hospital, say staffing can make or break a facility.
The higher the ratios of staff to patient care seems to be the higher star rating.
On Medicare.gov, you can compare nursing homes and find a 54-page guide to choosing a facility.
This is a real boon that you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Edward Harper says family members should also look at the number of patients in a room, whether or not the staff is happy, and he advises going into the nursing home several times before choosing. When you do select a facility, caregivers recommend visiting as much as possible.
If you're there, then things go better. If you're not there, things don't go as well. It's amazing the things that you see when you're in a nursing home.
I'm struck by just kind of remembering.
It was New Year's Day, 1996.
I remember just getting absolutely furious. I was felt like my face was going to explode.
Everett Worthington's 76-year-old mother violated and left dead on the blood-stained carpet.
A very gruesome and upsetting sight, one that I just will never forget.
It was his brother, Mike, who discovered the crime scene on Price Avenue with his son by his side. Although
he only saw her body for just an instant, he said to me that he just had thought about it continually.
Everything was in disarray. They had torn things up, and so very chaotic, messy crime scene, especially for the son to walk in and see.
He got so depressed he would go in his room on Saturday, draw the blinds, and just not be able to come out for a full 12-hour Saturday.
Mike committed suicide 9 years later in 2005. Now it's 2013, and detectives with Knoxville's Cold Case Division are working new leads on Francis Worthington's case. Jeff Day says he now has 2 suspects, one out of state.
We've sent some evidence to the lab that was never tested for DNA, so we've got some things in a private lab actually for DNA testing as we speak.
As for the motive, Day says it looks like a burglary turned barbaric, a crime that may seem unforgivable for many.
I was so angry, I pointed to a baseball bat against the wall, and I said, I wish whoever did that were here. I would beat his brains out, and I really, at that moment, meant that.
As a professor and author of dozens of books, Worthington uses his personal tragic experiences to help others.
I wanted to do all that I could possibly do to promote forgiveness in every willing heart, home, and homeland.
Along with his own conscience when it comes to the death of his brother.
Here I am, a clinical psychologist, and really did not help him the way that I really should have.
Worthington has just finished his new book on the struggles of self-forgiveness.
Moving forward.
More than a book title, it's now a life mission, but one he can't conquer without your help. Police say there are people who might know more about what happened on Price Avenue, and those details could crack the case.
Someone that was your mother, your grandmother, your neighbor, your friend, your church member, your anything, you would want someone that knew to help you. With her age and helpless as she is, that it seems that victims like that need, they need a voice.
So justice is served, and Worthington can move forward and forgive whoever painted the brutal crime scene behind these walls.
Without forgiveness, there's no future.
In Knoxville, Ashley Izbicki, 10 News.